It is our elimination finals. Resurrection or redemption. Envy coming back from the ashes, roaring like the Phoenix, an organization that went away. Their first time in a final since 2017. Snipe Down, Pistola, Mikwin and Hook. But now they've got new superstars. Redemption for the team that was made to win world championships, forged for moments like this. Formal, Legend, Bound and Renegade. Superstars on that stage. Some have been here for a long time, some only getting comfortable. And it all comes down to this. Envy have caused ruckus already, exceeded expectations, and for Optic Gaming, fallen below their standards far too many times. But still time to change things. Still life left in the tank. Shields up, weapons hot, we're underway here.
And what a way to start it as well, with it being CTF forbidden here for Optic Gaming. This maybe could be the perfect balance in terms of a map and mode, just to give them that confidence once more after being sent down into the elimination bracket here. Or perhaps could we see something that we saw just last event, only merely weeks ago, when they dropped down into that elimination bracket and they were caught out by a very hot FaZe clan. Or Envy, maybe in exactly the same position. They are on a run at the moment, taking down anyone in their way, but Clutch made a very valuable point. They have not necessarily been tested by any of the really big teams now. And if they are going to take down someone like Optic Gaming, they almost have to find another gear here in these elimination finals.
The game slows down. All 8 players on the map and not a round flying through the sky. Renegade is clearing his angles. Envy trying to bait Optic Gaming in before they explode out the blocks. Yakzn's found Renegade. He's down to no shield. Piggy arrives to try and finish that kill, but has to settle for a trade. Legend with the snipe rifle now. Optic Gaming are taking control of the map. But Precision, with that snipe rifle, finds the face of Legend, and now all of a sudden, the snipe rifle that Optic Gaming controlled, no longer a factor, no longer an issue. It's in the hands of Yakzn. Envy have got 2 snipes here.
I wonder if once more Optic will fall victim to something that's happened many a time in this tournament already, where for Envy, this is their final, really. This is further than they would have ever expected to get, but for Optic Gaming, this is the expectation that they would go through this and get another stab at Shopify Rebellion. And sometimes when you have that mindset, you just allow the other team to just get a leg up on you. Optic Gaming have to be careful. They have to respect what Envy have been able to do to get to this point. And we can already see Envy confidently holding the map at the moment, but Formal has got the overshield. Remember, one of the key reasons why Envy were able to take down Luminon earlier was their overshield control. And Optic have maybe already sensed that. They've already denied that. And now they're going to have a lot of map control, and Bound might be able to pull this flag off the back of it.
Precision was trying to make it an awkward fight for Formal. Formal gave up on it. Left it for somebody else. The kills have come their way. 3 dead for Envy. Flag was on the move. Bound is taking it. The scenic route, must be said. Precision makes Formal miss the first shot, but the second one will find a home. Bound taking it through the street. And Piggy is the only man on the map that can stop this. Bound shields come back and they're not taking any damage. Optic Gaming, they open us up.
That'll settle the nerves for Optic Gaming a little bit, and for the fans in the crowd here. I think if Envy have come out of the blocks hot, they got the first flag, you might have just planted that seed of doubt in your mind, but now Optic Gaming just need to reset here. After committing to that flag, Envy gain a little bit of map control, but I think the first spawner has been able to really push out. I think it's going to be Legend, who's just a little bit further up as the first point of defense here.
Well, Optic Gaming, as the game slows down once more, they have that lead. Coming off the back of that tough loss against Shopify Rebellion. Let's just have a little listen in and see how they're navigating things.
You didn't move in.
He's just sitting there.
West is in 15, guys.
Hard, shoot me. Nice, man.
Nice, shoot against him.
Go for West,
I'll get away.
Watching that flank. I'm watching this one.
Where's our head precision? Here's the Thor, here's the Thor center.
Still hot.
Left flank, one shot descendant. We have OS.
Here's the street, I think.
Still tree.
Watching my head.
Shoot. I'm killing this guy. I'm just killing this guy.
I'm main right. Top left. Kill our head.
We're gonna pop.
Ready, I'm looking to five.
We're to separate.
Pretty good. Yo, he's pissed on me.
Oh, you. To the head.
We're gonna back.
Nice. Two dead. That's still. You guys are head.
Shoot the head.
He's on you low, man. One top, I think. Watching over, watch over.
To the head.
Yo, one's front. He's weak front. He's weak on the front bucket. This player.
Two low, man.
One's island.
On the plasma,
Yo, one's island.
That's
Timing.
One.
Ready.
Nice.
Walk, second. Walk,
Ready. Watch Mark. I'm pulling.
Watch out low hit.
Can you kill him, man?
Down. He's coming. He's still there. He's low.
Yeah.
He's not sticky.
Nice.
There's sniper down Mike's path.
I'm trying to come, guys. Watch this. On a wing, on my thing.
One's on top left.
Ready. I'm repping.
On Ray, guys. There's one on Ray.
Top left, still descendant. One's on me. Into the ring.
Back front, precision.
One there, back there. One.
A lot of small talk. Things have slowed down. They had control of the map. Descendant soared to his death, much to his own maker. Formal puts down damage. A couple of those snipe shots just not finding a home just yet. Did manage to find one to the face towards the end of that run. But it's Optic Gaming in full control here of the scoreline and of the map.
I like the energy on the comms though. Optic don't sound deflated after the loss to Shopify earlier. They know there is still a job to do here in this elimination final. Envy are going to be no pushovers. So like you mentioned, a lot of small talk, a lot of effort around where they need to be positioning themselves for these flag runs. Couldn't quite get that one converted before when Renegade did move it. There was just one player that was out of their sight lines they couldn't get hold of. But they still find themselves a flag up. 6 minutes now remain. Sniper rifles and overshield about to spawn, so this is a big moment. Could be a good turning point for Envy if they're able to get hold of that Ovi as well.
You have to ask the question, when we've seen teams like Envy in the past get to this stage, playing against an Optic Gaming, a Rebellion, or a FaZe, how often do you see that team almost as though they're happy with their exploits? They've set out what they plan to achieve. They've actually exceeded those plans. And they always come out flat. That's the challenge that Envy have here. Find a way to respond to this aggression. Because right now, it's all going swimmingly for Optic Gaming. Descendants in the respawn screen. Last three members of Envy back towards their own base. Precision slides out to his death. And it's now a 2-0 Optic Gaming lead.
Optic have done very well at shutting down Yakzn and not allowing him to get into those anchor points. When you look back at that elimination semi-final, Yakzn was here, there, and everywhere, finding all sorts of angles to lay down the damage. And for me, might have even been the MVP on that Envy side with how he was playing and the positions he was able to find, but it's just not been able to have that same comfort here against Optic. You're never going to have that much freedom because Optic, just that little bit better. They catch you out, they spot those kind of things, and they will hunt you down if they feel like you're a threat on the map. But Descendant does find one with a snipe. Maybe a slight opening and a chance to push towards the base here for Envy, but with 4 minutes and 40 on their clock, they need to start thinking about getting a flag soon.
They're thinking about it. They're putting it into action. Down the Legend, make it formal as well now in the respawn screen.
Oh, no.
Renegade tries to put down as much damage as he can, but the flag's been fumbled, and that will buy Optic Gaming just a little bit more time. But this one should, now I say should, go home. As he slides up. Bound is trying to close the distance, but Descendant now puts Envy right back into this game, and that will do their confidence the world of good.
Yeah, we didn't see the work that was being done on the rest of the map because we were watching Descendant. But it was the rest of the Envy team that were able to push up and pressure Optic, not allow them to have freedom off of that spawn. Now this overshield is going to be big here for Envy. But there's going to be a nice push coming from them as well. Renegade tries to hold, but he's overwhelmed. He is swarmed, and Envy is surrounding this overshield, but they're very wary. There could be an Optic trap. But Precision gets it, and now they need to push with it.
Precision needs a couple of nades.
Oh no.
And the overshield, null and void, not having the effect that you would like. Formal gets a double kill as well. And now he can think about pushing forward for his team. Information coming that Yakz's weak, down to no shields now. And actually, as a matter of fact, Lqgend elsewhere scooped up the flag just to apply even more pressure. Envy are in 6s and 7s. There's 2 attacking, 2 on defense. And Formal has the pick of the world. But he drops down, forced to. No shields now. Lqgend settles for a trade across the map, so that one will be dead, but it just relieves the pressure on the rest of his teammates, forcing Envy to play defense. Optic and Formal will fall on the front base.
I think the Zoomers get excited when we say 6s and 7s as well. I think everyone around just has a collective little scream. But at 2-1, Optic Gaming need to make sure they don't allow Envy to have too comfortable of a push-up here to get control of top middle again. Otherwise, they might find themselves throwing away a flag and throwing away what did look like a comfortable lead. They have slightly slowed down. They've backed off. They're almost allowing Envy to have a little bit of control here. That's one way to rip away control from them, though. Remember what DSCENDANT did previously for that first flag cap. It was a big shot, but now Renegade started to take control of the game.
Halo Infinite's MVP. And he needs a big performance here. Already providing it 15, 5, and 8. Tags DSCENDANT as he crosses by. But it's Renegade on the Renegade and Bound on the map at the moment. Piggy last man alive for his team. But Renegade's quite happy just to wait. Hold his power position. Bait precision in. And rip the face. Overshield is up. And that's why Renegade is hesitant to push forward. He knows how big it can be. Body shot finds a home. Bandit gets the kill. Renegade's just holding the line here, but Yakz's got the sniper rifle on the other side. Overshield secured for Optic Gaming.
I mean, it's not a bad backup, is it? After you run out of sniper rifle ammo, just getting a free overshield. And it's just 1 minute 30 now left on the clock for Optic to hold as Renegade is still running the show. But we know he's capable of doing this. He's done this multiple times already this tournament against teams like Envy, for example. But Renegade can't be the only one to have these performances if they are to go on, get to that grand final, and also try and take down Shopify Rebellion. We need to see the same kind of performances from the likes of Formal, Bound, and Lqgend. 3 superstars who can also do the same. All 4 of them have to be at their very best if they are to go on and win this tournament, but they've certainly responded well to dropping down to this elimination bracket so far. 1 more minute then to hold on.
And with that, the Envy push comes. Piggy wins a big 1v1, but Bound gets precision, so it's a 3v3 on the map. Optic Gaming quite happy to hold what they have, play defense. 3 go down for Envy. That means Optic Gaming are holding the line pretty strong now as Bound continues to look for this player who's just slipped through the cracks. DSCENDANT gets another one with the help of a teammate. And that will mean Optic Gaming have got to mind their P's and Q's here. But they're combining well together. And Precision gets shut down. Formal picks up a double kill.
This is where you can start to increase those stats a little bit because it's like cannon fodder. They all just start to run towards you as desperate times now lead to some desperate pushes from Envy. And that's a big stick from Formal as well. These sticky grenades have proved to be so vital so far this tournament for those trades.
Into the final knockings. Envy are not going to get close. Into the waiting arms of Optic Gaming. DSCENDANT tries to, but fails. And the green wall. 1-0 up in the series. And 3 away from a grand finals rematch with Shopify Rebellion.
And if you consider how good Envy have been at Fortress Capture the Flag, for example, I think it was important that Optic made a statement in that first game to say, you are not going to be able to just walk over us when it comes to these CTF games. We can control just as you have. The overshield control was definitely something that was very important for their victory. And once they had that 2-0 lead, they definitely slowed it down. They realized they didn't really need to push the narrative of going for a third. And whilst it did invite the pressure, it did allow Envy to get one back. There was just too much to do, and Optic just too strong defensively. It's hard enough breaking into a base and getting a flag. It's even harder when you have to do it against the likes of Renegade, who really did go on a tear with that sniper rifle during the latter stages.
Optic Gaming outslaying Envy 71-54. The score finishing 2-1. Maybe you can say the efficiency can be called into question, but all that matters for them is settling the nerves, getting back to winning ways after that defeat to Shopify Rebellion. And they've done just that here on the main stage. Haven't allowed the result to fester, back to winning ways. Slayer Aquarius is up next.
I think it's a really good opportunity for Envy to even us up here. It has been a struggle historically for Optic Gaming. Slayer Aquarius, they're 4-4 throughout this season, as you can see right here on the beautiful graphic created by production. On the flip side for Envy, it's 5-1. Only losing out once. This is going to be something they'll look at this series layout and saying this is a must win, especially when you start to look further into this series, especially with Recharge Opal coming up next. We know how amazing Optic Gaming are on Oddball and Recharge specifically. If you drop Slayer here, and then you're going into that third game saying, well, how on earth are we going to take them down on one of their best game types? Very quickly, you could be 3-0 down here in this best of 7. And then you would have to try and go for the reverse sweeps of all reverse sweeps, trying to do it in a best of 7 against this Optic roster, who I'm sure will want to make this quick. They will want to easily breeze through so they can not waste their energy on this elimination final and focus on their main targets of Shopify Rebellion. Do Envy have something here to suggest that they can go all the way and go the distance against an Optic Gaming roster?
For Optic Gaming, there's winning, but there's ways of doing it as well. And a clean sweep would be a statement with a punctuation point as well. Head back in against Shopify Rebellion. Lock up once more. Envy, though, still stand in their way. And for Envy, ambitions a little bit differently. You do not want to get 4-0 swept in this elimination final. An incredible World Championships run. But don't let it end with Optic Gaming dominating. Make them work for it. Renegade gets camouflage, but it gets burned. Good work from Piggy.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen it, and I'm sure it won't be the last. Time and time again, we see teams getting to this position, but then falling to that squad that drops down from the winner's final. And what can be a very one-sided affair, but we know what Envy are capable of once they get going. They need to brush aside that game 1. They gave it a good effort. It was close. But now on a map where they should be the favorites for, they need to prove why. And it's about confidence. It's about getting into these engagements, not fearing the names you're going up against as well. And they have an 8-6 lead to kick us off.
Wonderful start from Piggy as well. 5-1-1. Precision with 3 assists. And they start to collapse on the Optic Gaming hold. Lqgend back base. They trade damage. Formal's going to venture out now. He'll be met by Precision. Bound goes down. Formal settles for a trade elsewhere. The kills favoring Envy, at least they were for now. Renegade top middle. Receives a lot of damage, but that's a beautiful nade from top middle just to clear Piggy out. And it's Optic Gaming who now hold map control. A complete flip of the script. Although Envy collapsed, the kills were starting to favor them. We're all tied up.
I would be worried if Envy lose this one. Especially when we know how good Envy are at Aquarius, because their ability to work together just with pure bandit skill has been incredible so far this tournament. And on a map where it is truly down to really just teamwork, don't have to rely on individual ability as much, and Envy seem to really flourish in these scenarios. You rip away the sniper rifle, you take away the shock rifle ability. And of course, we know the heat wave's not being used either. And it means that these cross angles that Envy find, the anchor positions they like to find themselves in, they can be so powerful. Whereas Optic Gaming, maybe because they know how powerful they are as individuals, they might just get caught out a few times trying to move around the map. As I say that, Formal on his own just punches his way through the map.
So important for Envy not to alter the strategy, not to change the recipe. Remember what got you success and got you a ticket to the dance in the first place. This has been such a strong map mode combination for them. We're all tied up at the moment, but Formal's got the camouflage. And he can have a heavy influence in what way these next few seconds are going to pan out.
Formal does eventually push in, and he's greeted by Bound as well as they work together in tandem to get the kills. And now it's 21-21. Yakzn going to be the next target, and Formal just constantly calling out to the rest of the team about where those players are. And he's not the only one calling out. Of course, Envy, I'm sure, will be calling out where that camouflage is, and maybe it's a good time to jump into a listening with Envy and just see how those comms are.
Reset, new fight.
Two car one. They might hit our gen. Yeah, one's our brick. One's our brick.
Top 10 going.
Yeah, 3. Top flag trim. Flagging trims. Just
I got spawn done.
One's fridge.
Yeah,
I spawned blue flag. I'm trying to help you, Piggy.
Trying to get out fridge.
Alright, that.
Good. Yeah, let's get out.
Top E.
Trying to help me then. Keep moving, guys. Yeah, P2 legend.
Cross, watch out, Renegade.
Hurry up. I can help you out. You guys P2, I think.
Watch out.
You guys P.
P2.
Nice. P2.
2. There's a guy
Fight
P2.
top E, fight top E, fight top E.
Yeah, we have numbers.
Almost here too.
Pop the base, pop the base.
Top E.
Almost here too. On there, P jump. The heavy yellow P.
No, two bottom P, two bottom P. One's bottom P, one top P. Top P right now. Playing there.
Play fridge with me.
He's bottom P door, he's holding the P door. Other guys, two guys.
Nice! Let's go!
Play top car.
Yeah, gonna be car probably.
Maybe a lifeline then from the double kill from Yakzn and the scream across the main stage, but it's still a 5-kill difference. Make it 4 as I say that. Descendant gets 1, it's traded out by Lqgend. A 5-kill lead is big though here for Optic Gaming. And how many times did I say against Luminon, Envy, they're a team who love structure. They love that slow kind of pace of play, but when you think about slow pace of play, historically, it was always Optic Gaming that really pioneered that style. Now, I know this is a different look, Optic Gaming. But at the same time, they'll be more than happy to take their time and have a little bit of structure about their games because that gives them extra time to plan, and they are one of the best teams in doing so.
It was a very interesting comment during that listening from Envy. Somebody said, keep moving, which means they're starting to recognize that we're maybe playing even slower than we intend to, because the weight of the moment is only getting heavier and heavier, and the more space you give up to Optic Gaming, the more they'll make you pay. But Envy now starting to turn the screw. It's a 1-kill game. Descendant has the camouflage. 2 members of Optic Gaming inside of the base. Renegade's down to no shields. Precision's going to try and close the distance and apply the finishing touches to that kill, but Renegade, Bound, they combine. And now Descendant is forced into an uncomfortable position. He has got to push forward the full shield players. Bound shuts him down.
I was going to say, so frustrating as the camo player to see your teammates fall, but then to go down yourself. Find yourself 4 kills behind and you have to build once again. And Optic Gaming can play this slow. They can force Envy to start making those mistakes, to get them into those uncomfortable positions that you were just talking about. Still up by 4. Every single time these kills are being traded out as Optic get closer to victory here in what I would consider a must-win for Envy. The rest of the series layout, there are some big maps and modes for Optic Gaming that they love, that they flourish.
For Envy, is this series just on the waves, slowly drifting away from them? Optic Gaming continue to keep them at arm's length, and as a matter of fact, now starting to grow that lead. Precision slides in, gets 1, but is immediately traded out. And somehow, some way, Lqgend picks up a double kill. 2 kills now for Optic Gaming. That's all that's required to double their series advantage.
It's very rare Optic would throw away a lead like this as well. They just need to plan their attack here or plan their defense. Again, encourage Envy to start to push, get that info, and then you start to do the damage together. Notice how they are sticking in pairs on different sides of the map. They get the first.
First pick provided by Lqgend, the French phenom. When's the next one going to come? Yakzn's inside the fridge, they're not aware of that. But Formal elsewhere gets the kill that he needed onto Descendant. And the green wall do double their lead. Envy in real trouble, because this series layout doesn't get much easier for them. That Slayer was huge, and it slipped through their fingers.
Optic mean business. They want a quick return back and an attempt at Shopify Rebellion. One thing I noted after they lost that series against Shopify, it was Renegade's reaction, it was his body language, it was frustration. They know they can do better, Optic Gaming. They know they lost some games where they feel like they probably should have won. A few mistakes here or there, a few heroics here or there from Shopify. And sadly for Envy, they're going to go up against an Optic Gaming who are just a little bit peed off after that matchup in the winners bracket. But with it being a best of 7, there is still time for Envy. And even though, as you've alluded to, as we've both been mentioning, the series layout doesn't really get better in terms of statistics. Once you get past map 3, maybe there's hope. And if, by some miracle, Envy can steal Opal Recharge away from Optic Gaming, that would change the entire narrative here of this series layout. But with what we've seen so far, it's very easy to start to think that Optic Gaming might just run away with this one, especially when you look at those numbers.
Looking at those numbers, Envy, a mixed bag, 3-2. Make no mistake about it, it's a 6-0 record for Optic Gaming. 92% win rate on rounds as well. And a player I want to highlight, Dan, who in an interview recently said this might be his last tournament, and he is okay with that. Formal. an incredible performance, going 16-8 in that game 2, Slayer.
Yeah, a great tournament to call it your last as well, with it being the final HCS Halo Infinite tournament, of course, of this season. Great announcement, of course, with DreamHacks coming, though, and the Halo Fest, so we will still have more Halo Infinite action. But still, it's a wonderful time for us all here, and I think everyone understands how big a moment this is for Halo at this tournament.
Yeah, I think how big a moment it is, even for Envy. Of course, already exceeded those expectations, getting to this point. But Clutch laid down the gauntlet, he laid down the question. This is the time where you're really going to start playing against some of those upper echelon squads. And Optic Gaming right now proving to be just too much for them.
Too much indeed, but it is going to be a quick break for the players as they just have a little reset here, but no one off and toddling to the bathroom. This is usually when players start to disappear, but both teams bums in seats, and they are more than happy to stay focused and start to think about how this next one's going to go. But with Optic Gaming not losing it thus far this entire season, you would be crazy to bet against them at this point. But maybe Envy can pull off that miracle. And like I said, it does change everything. The whole pace of everything changes. It would be a big head scratcher if Envy suddenly were able to pull out a victory here.
And with Optic Gaming being such heavy favorites in this third map, who was the player you look at, Dan, on the oddball, on recharge? Who was the one that is finding those little pockets of space that's really getting success? Who is the player you're looking at to make the difference?
I mean, it's Renegade. He is unbelievable all tournament long. He has been all season long, all game long in Halo Infinite. He is the MVP for a reason, and we've seen him dominate this map single-handedly time and time again. And if he does get going, it will be close to curtain call for this Envy roster. But it's not easy to shut him down. And already he starts us off with one, and he's done damage to secure the second, and it's all for dead for Envy as Optic Gaming lay waste to the entire squad, and now we'll start to set up with this ball.
The perfect opening. 4 dead for Envy, and Optic Gaming keep all 4 guns on the map. Complete map control now, shock rifle to play with. And they can set up. Precision will back Renegade down off the bat ledge. And Bound now just closing the space and helping Renegade in case the push comes across the bridge. He's quite happy with what he sees, but Precision overstayed his welcome as far as Renegade is concerned. No longer a problem, no longer a concern.
1, 2, easy as you like. You're just walking into Renegade and a warpath that he always lays down. It is so simple, or he makes it look simple, should I say, as he finds another. The shock rifle in particular looks disgusting in his hands. And at the moment, he's 6-0. Remember, we saw a killing frenzy, almost a running riot from him yesterday on this map with the shock rifle, and perhaps he's going to try and do something similar for us here.
Renegade almost playing with his food there with Precision. Thought about the shot, waited, pops the shields. What a start from the Demon. And Envy just haven't had a response. 46 seconds already amassed for the green wall. Descendant bottom elevator. Problem is he's isolated and the push is coming from gold pipes. Descendant is now aware of that, drops the ball. Bound closes the distance. Descendant down to no shields, no longer a problem. Renegade puts another one in the grave. Putting bodies in the ground. That's what Renegade does best.
Enemy halfway to victory.
And he knows he's on for a frenzy again, by the way. We saw it yesterday. Once he got that frenzy, he started to play in a different way as he was looking to try and make it that one step further. He's not playing as aggressive. He's putting himself in slightly safer positions, and here's the frenzy waiting for him. Does chase it, does secure it. It's another killing frenzy alongside a triple. And Renegade has earned his MVP for the entirety of Halo Infinite. And he is running the show.
Incredible target prioritization. And he falls from the heavens and gets a free kill with an elbow to the spine. Can't be stopped. Won't be stopped in this form. Precision scoops up the ball. Yakzn firing from the bat ledge. Renegade, easy pickings. The game looked so easy, looks so easy on Renegade's POV. The ability that he has, absolutely frightening. And he's got the shock rifle again. Piggy gets a stick onto the ball carrier. Renegade shows he is human after all and misses a couple of shots.
He's just doing it to give him a chance at this point. He's up to 13-0. This is an elimination final, by the way. At the very end, the culmination of this tournament, and Renegade is still able to play with this much freedom. Yakzn is next target.
Enemy has the ball.
Yakzn deleted. Piggy's next. It's a running riot. Oh, it was so close.
An absolute massacre. Renegade finally shut down after 15 kills.
Ball dropped.
81 points to 25. Optic Gaming 15 seconds away from claiming the opening round of this oddball.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
It earned a round of applause from the crowd at the attempt as well, because I think everyone knows that Renegade was putting on a show for us.
Enemy has the ball.
And that's how comfortable, that's how in the element he is right now. But as I said earlier, are you going to have this much freedom to do it against Shopify Rebellion if you are to get to those grand finals? But certainly Renegade trying to make a statement here that they want to get it done fast.
Ball dropped.
All the meanwhile, though, even with this constant Renegade POV that we've had, and for good reason with how he's been playing, Optic Gaming still need 18 more points, and Envy have kept in it.
Ball dropped.
He's worth the price of admission alone.
No.
Welcome everybody to the Renegade show.
Ball dropped.
Maybe this episode is over, but he'll be back. Make no mistake about it. Yakzn gets put in the dirt by Bound.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
But in the background, amongst all those kills that Renegade is getting, Envy have got a few points on the board, and they're closing in on that lead. But Formal has the camouflage and a kill to boot.
Yeah, it might have been a good thing that Renegade died, to be honest, because it just meant that Optic could probably play around actually getting the objective done as well.
Enemy has the ball.
Now Formal will just have a little touch, a little tickle of that ball.
Enemy has the
Doesn't
ball.
need to use it though, instead will pass it off. 3 dead for Envy, and this might be the final moments of this round. You saw the stats earlier. It was what, 92% win rate of rounds? It's very rare they even lose one round, as now they put themselves one up on what has been an incredible first round where we got to see Renegade on a running riot. And if you're Envy, you see that in the kill feed, what are you supposed to do? It's so easy to get deflated when you see the other team just being able to run around with such freedom.
Formal throwing hands. 4 dead for Envy. The freest camouflage you're likely to see. Piggy tries he might off-spawn from long haul to stop Formal having the influence he's going to have. DSCENDANT with a nade that seemed to come from nowhere. There he is again. Renegade with a shock rifle. But this time Yakzn ensures he's not going to have the influence, at least for now. Optic Gaming already securing 10 points off that hot start. But Envy are trying to keep this one scrappy.
It was Renegade who got the first 10 points. I think he felt bad from the previous round and said, all right, I'll do some objective work. But then, oh, there's another shock rifle that falls into my hands once more.
If you look at it, it's almost calculated. He's got 21 seconds of ball time, making sure that he's not the least ball time on his team. I got 21 seconds, Formal has 20, I can drop it now.
Ball dropped. Enemy has
A Renegade somehow finds the shock rifle again. He's almost drawn to it.
Enemy has the ball.
DSCENDANT steps out a little bit too far. Precision, watch yourself. The form that Renegade's in was a brave man to take him on 1v1, but Precision comes out on top.
Enemy has the ball.
Now, can we see someone from Envy do something similar? Can they have that moment where they can lead the charge for the team and get them back into this game? Precision has hit so many good shots already this tournament, does connect with the body. Same again onto Lqgend, but not being a headshot can hurt you. It's not quite the same as a body shot with a sniper rifle. It doesn't do the same damage. Now Optic will get a few down from Envy and get ball control yet again here. They are behind at the moment, but they will probably take the lead in the next few.
You know, ambitions is to hold that ball over towards blue. Give them the option to play it if they can. It's long haul, and Lqgend is making the move now. Precision steps out, and he swings at Bound, but his arm's not big enough.
Enemy has the ball.
2 men in the respawn screen, a piece now. It's 2v2 on the map. Lqgend will play the ball if the pressure gets too much. He's made that call now. Shroud Crease goes down. Renegade happy to make this an ugly fight. And they combine. 2-for-1 trade. Ball back home.
You said it was a 2v2, but with Renegade alive, it feels like a 2 versus 4. He's playing like he's got 3 guns at the moment. Formal has found himself a camouflage to work with, which is something we've said a few times already this series. Clearly is the one who is very much on point in terms of finding those power-ups, listening to the coach's calls.
Gold pipes control now for Formal. The shock rifle has now just popped up. Grabs the ball, tosses it towards his team. Grabs the shock rifle. But this one he will not be tossing towards his team. This one's for him to play with. He wants to have some fun now. Already seeing the success that Renegade has had. Yakzn takes some shots to the body. Like you say, it doesn't quite have the same impact as a sniper rifle does. You've got to hit the face to see real success. Oh, and Formal with a grenade. Gets 2. Might not be done just yet. Piggy forced to put it in reverse. And Formal can just wait. Piggy knows he has to go this way. Waiting and biding his time. And Formal does not hit the shot. And Piggy opens us up with a double kill. Shock rifle now in his hand. But 61 points for Optic Gaming. Envy have got to get something cooking and quick.
And when you do see shock rifle shots missed, you realize just how special that running riot was from Renegade in the first round. Piggy can't connect with one either. Renegade says, yes, please, thank you very much, I'll scoop it up. Connects with the body. I think he's only got 1 shot left in that shock rifle, but it is going to be a 35-point lead now for Optic Gaming as they try and close down. Precision holds strong, but somehow Renegade still gets that trade. Can Envy go against the grain and somehow steal a round away from Optic Gaming here? They have got it over towards blue, so even if Optic can break, the likelihood is it's going to be a play ball. So realistically, Optic will probably try and keep one person up towards glass so they can recover it when it does get sent back home.
Just to remind people, on this map mode combination, Optic Gaming have a 92% round win rate. I'm no mathematician, but to me that feels like they've only lost 1 round when they play this. And that's the challenge that Envy have to do now, to beat that, win 2 rounds, and they're going to have to do it without reply. Optic Gaming already securing 1. They are now within touching distance, our Envy. So Optic Gaming have got to be careful, but yet another power-up goes the way of the green wall.
It must be frustrating for Envy, from going from a series where they were getting almost every power-up to now barely seeing one. Not even getting the chance to really look at one. And half the time wondering where on earth it is on the map. Optic recover the ball again, and now Renegade is going to have the ability to go pretty much wherever he wants here. So much freedom, he can just stand top bats and provide info.
Trickles his way down gold steps, almost strutting down. The world is his oyster. He's going to have a backstab here, but also a player behind him, which he's not aware of. Going to have to be careful. Now clears his back. Information came from a team. Player dropped off bat ledge. Ball down. And now Formal picks it up. And that will mean that Renegade has the least ball time on his team, and expecting to change that if he can. Precision in tower. Renegade happy to take this fight. Oh, Precision gives him the wiggles though, and it's very rare you see that happen to Renegade. Formal gets absolutely nuked out of his boots. And the ball drops down on glass.
Well, that was the break. This is the last attempt then from Envy to get hold of this ball and get it set up and try and keep this game alive. Descendants got hold of the shock. Need to see something magical, something memorable, something that will just give a little bit of energy to this squad, to this roster. Sadly, he's just eating nade after nade, and he can't connect with that shot either. And Renegade is just going to be more than happy to scoop that one up. 10 more points required for Optic.
Piggy in trouble. Renegade has the ball. And unfortunate for him, no matter how long he holds it, he will be the least ball time on his team, but he will not care one bit about that. Optic Gaming complete the round. Optic Gaming take the map and are 1 way from a grand finals.
It is sadly the way it looked like it was going to go. As soon as you saw that series layout, as soon as you saw that this was going to be map 3. And you have to wonder for Envy, is there anything left in the tank? They've given so much this tournament to get to this point. But now you have to dig so deep to try and reverse sweep Optic Gaming in the elimination finals. An Optic Gaming team that is heavily supported by this crowd here at the Halo World Championship as well. They have been behind the green wall all year long, all season long. As we look back at some of the highlights, and it was the Renegade show to kick us off. I had said how yesterday he had got that killing frenzy and he wanted the riot. He got close but couldn't quite get there. Well, he converts it this time in what was such a special and memorable play. Really beautiful to watch.
You'd be forgiven for thinking this is the Optic Gaming highlights. No, no, no. Dan said the Renegade show for a reason. The Renegade master, absolutely dominant against Envy. And in the series that Envy had against Luminon, I likened them to being light heavyweights. And that Optic Gaming and Shopify Rebellion would be those heavyweights, and Envy would have to punch above their station. But right now, they find themselves one away from elimination. One punch can land to send them to the map for the final time. An incredible performance from Optic Gaming, and for Envy, they look as though they could be going gentle into that good night.
Gentle and a good night indeed. I just want to take a moment as well to thank all the fans and everyone for our inclusion, of course, in Halo Infinite and its history. It's been great to see you rise through the ranks as well, Shurs, as my co-commentator. Yeah, it's a really special moment here and quite a tough one, but I love it.
Yeah, it's been an honor and a privilege for Dan and I to share the stage. I want to say thank you to everybody, whether it be the fans, the people in the back, the sound engineer who I met in the elevator yesterday, who was a wonderful guy, and everybody else, just for making this whole thing possible and for allowing Dan and I to do what we love. It's been a dream.
He almost cried, almost got him, very close. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. It has been amazing, but of course, it's still not over. We still have to finish this series, and we still have to finish this entire tournament as well. Is Optic Gaming going to be 4-0ing their way into the grand final? Will Shurzy ever cry on camera? These are the questions I ask myself at night. But all I know is at the moment, the way Optic are playing, they are looking like a dominant force that are very much focused on Shopify Rebellion. Sadly for Envy, they are just flies in the way that are being swatted against the wall at the moment. And perhaps the splatter of their blood will end up on live fire. King of the Hill is where we land. And Optic Gaming, even though King of the Hill has been rough for them, maybe this is where they can convert it to send themselves to a grand final.
Time to turn their fortunes around. And for Envy, running out of time. The sand slipping through the glass now. Optic Gaming have given them very little. Scraps they've been feeding off and have not been able to find success. And again, Envy find themselves down by 3 members. Descendant scrambling to try and survive. And that's what Envy have been doing all series long. Scrambling, trying to survive. And Optic Gaming are in no mood to let them.
Lqgend does grab that camo. Lqgend also absolutely dumps on precision. And now it means he's got that freedom to just roam around the map, position himself. He does get smelled out here. But still scoring our Optic Gaming. And you have to wonder, what do Envy have left? It's so deflating to be in a situation like this. And as I said, it is not the first time it's happened for a team. It won't be the last. We will see it forever in Halo history as we move forward, even in Halo Infinite and future Halo titles. You go so far, you dig so deep, you get to a point where you didn't even think you could make it, but then you just come up against what feels like a team that cannot be taken down, a team that is so set out on gaining that position back in the grand finals once more. And Optic Gaming just feels like they are bullying Envy at this point.
I've likened it to a boxing match, and forgive me, because this just looks like Envy are ready to throw in the towel. So much progress already made on his second hill. Optic Gaming are in cruise control. 2 members of Envy yet to register a kill. Precision, 5 deaths without reply. Descendant, 0 and 3.
Enemy team score.
Optic Gaming double their lead and are already just 2 away from a clean sweep in this best of 7.
Enemy team took the hill.
Still a couple of zeros on that side of Envy, yet to even register a kill. Which I think it says everything you need to know about this game. And it does feel more like a victory lap for Optic Gaming right now than an Envy comeback. And as much as I'd like to be optimistic for Envy, as much as I'd like to give them a chance here, it looks like Optic Gaming are far too strong in this moment. Camo has come up though, Piggy's been able to grab it. Perhaps that could be the lifeline. No, never mind, ripped away from them.
Lqgend steps inside the hill. And he clears out Descendant. Precision down to no shields. 7 deaths now, no kills. We don't want to keep harping on it, but you know he's starting to worry, he's starting to be concerned, and he'll start to play differently as a result of this, Dan.
This is incredible to watch from Optic's side. They have been flawless so far in this game. And it was something that had been highlighted before this tournament. King of the Hill, maybe a little bit of a weakness for the Green Wall. But what a chance it is to practice here. Because it feels like that. It feels like a practice game for them, ahead of what will be a much anticipated grand final at this point, between the two teams who deserve to be there. Bound has the sniper rifle now. And even though Envy are scoring, Bound is starting to be soaring. Heading towards that hill and happy to take on anyone that ends up in his sight lines. There's another, it's a killing spree for him.
So comfortable it would seem, they're trying to hit trick shots. Piggy desperately trying to stay alive, but there's 2 members of Optic Gaming coming close to him, and he's also going to fall. Sniper rifle in the hands of the Frenchman, body shot good. Bandit's second shot finds the face, that's a kill. Optic Gaming so comfortable in this, and it's going to do their confidence the world of good. And this is the kind of response that we needed to see if they were going to match up against Shopify Rebellion and make sure the result goes a different way.
Oh, absolutely. The confidence builder they would have needed. And it's not wasted energy, right? They're going to probably get it done in 4 at this point as they find that 3rd hill. Envy just cannot keep up with Optic. And whilst we will remember an incredible tournament run for this Envy side, a top 3 finish at the Halo World Championship, if it stays this way, bar a miracle it seems at this point. Sadly, they have come up against an Optic Gaming who are just far superior at this point and very much knew what they had to do coming into this series. 3 dead for Envy. This 4th hill now inside is Optic Gaming. And they are beginning the charge, they are beginning the push onto Envy.
It's been clinical. It's been perfection. Flawless, phenomenal, keep using buzzwords. All to describe what Optic Gaming have been putting down. The show they put on. And Envy continued to struggle, because you even feel after they get 3 dead, it's only a matter of time. Optic Gaming spawn back up and retake control.
And I'm sure even in the minds of Envy, they probably know the inevitable at this point as well, but they are still giving it a bloody good effort. They have their feet in the hill, they get temporarily removed, but they will take the fight to Renegade. Yakzn, though, will be the last to fall, and it's going to be more hill time, you'd imagine, now for Optic Gaming. Bound to be the one to step in alongside Formal. Piggy tries off spawn to push, but he does push alone, but he kind of had to. They're running out of time, are Envy. As Optic Gaming just need a few more seconds in this hill.
Just a couple more ticks then for the green wall. And Envy continue to throw numbers at it, continue to try and invest, but they're running out of time and they're running out of control. Formal steps inside, possibly his last tournament ever, and he's guiding Optic Gaming back to the grand finals.
Shopify Rebellion versus Optic Gaming. The grand final that was very much deserved at this tournament, expected by some. There was a mere stumble in the last tournament from Optic Gaming where they didn't make that grand final. But now they have made up for it here in Seattle. As for Envy, again, a huge congratulations for Envy, which what has been an unbelievable tournament run, a top 3 finish. But they came up against a green wall that looked unstoppable. Unstoppable in the elimination final. However, let's start to think about how good Shopify Rebellion have looked thus far. Can Optic find an extra gear now? Can we see performances like we just saw from Renegade in a grand final? Can we see the likes of Formal, the likes of Lqgend and Bound step up to the plate and also show what they're truly made of? Because every single member of Optic is going to have to be at their very best if they want to take down Shopify in this grand final.
There are levels to this game, and Optic Gaming have been found wanting at the last 2 majors. Walshy said he fancies this team as the best individually skilled team on the planet. But the problem is we have not seen all 4 players find their final form at the right time. Shopify Rebellion in these last 2 majors have had their number. but still time to change that at the World Championships.
And it does feel like a full circle moment for me as well. You mentioned the 2017 World Championship, Envy versus Optic. That was my first World Championship, and now we're here at the last Halo Infinite World Championship, which has been an incredible one. But who's going to take it? That's the real question. I know there is a lot of Optic fans in the building, but Shopify at the moment, with how they look, shows it looks like maybe, just maybe, they are one step ahead of everyone else in this tournament.
You speak about Optic Gaming needing to find another gear. They're going to have to answer some questions that they have not been able to answer as of late. But that's all for me and Dan. It's time for Lottie and the crew to break it down. Thanks so much.